So we will begin with the rituals. We have buddy groups that take charge of the fellowships, and this month is a buddy group called Mpungu, which is one of the bird species we have in Uganda. So Nakato, buddy group leader Nakato.
I'm right here. Thank you, President. Thank you for welcoming us all. And I promised Rotary Kem, that I'll introduce all the guests that have escorted our speaker for today, Vijay. If I forget any names, please forgive me before I start off. I want to welcome Asha, Girija, Rotary Nama, Sashin, Prosper, Vinajer, Eyakola, Hari, Tony Shama, Suresh, Andrew Wally, Sangram, Barbara Young, Lynn, George, and Dr. Samuel.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Thank you very much.
Barbara Young as well. And Umresh Patel, who's just coming in right now. Yes, we'll start off by the grace. I think I saw Joe coming in. Joe, can you give us a grace, please?
Thank you, Nakato. Can you hear me well?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Good evening, Rotarians, our guests, friends of Rotary, Rotaractors. May we humble ourselves for the grace for what we have received and what we are about to receive. May we be truly thankful and ever mindful of the needs of others. Amen.
The loyal toast. Unfortunately, I don't see Florence here. Florence, are you with us? If she's not, I'm going to ask Jackie Batanda to give us the loyal toast.
Okay, let us straighten our jackets. If you have drinks, if you have your cup of coffee or tea, and let's raise to the President of the Republic of Uganda.
To His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda.
Thank you very much, Jackie, for coming in for Florence. We had the four-way test for Ruth. Ruth, can you please go ahead and give us the four-way test?
Thank you, Rotarian Nakato. Good evening, guests and all Rotarians. Let us recite the four-way test. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Ruth. The object, I know Shamila, you can share with President. Give us the objects from where President is seated. Go ahead, Shamila.
The object of the Rotary is to encourage and foster the ideal of service as a basis of worthy enterprise, and in particular, to encourage and foster, first, the development of acquaintance as an opportunity to serve. Second, high ethical standards in business and professions, the recognition of the worthiness of useful occupations, and the dignifying of each Rotarian's occupation as an opportunity to serve society. Third, the application of the ideal of service in each Rotarian's personal, business, and community life. Fourth, the advancement of international understanding, goodwill, and peace through a world fellowship of business and professional persons until the ideal, united in the ideal of service. Thank you.
Back to you, President. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Buddy Group Mpungu. And once again, I'd like to welcome all of us to this meeting. And we're all looking forward to listening to Vijay and learning more about the Rotary Foundation. And hopefully that will encourage many of us in the club that have not yet given to give towards the foundation. I think without any delay, we'll give, yes, I'll give the, do we have any announcements? Or that will come later on. I think let's give Vijay as much time as he needs. So who is introducing him?
Thank you very much, President. Our one and only Rotarian Kem will be introducing our speaker. Please go ahead, Kem.
Thank you very much, President. Thank you, Nakato. Good evening, fellow Rotarians, our guests and friends that have joined us from all over the world. We are really grateful that you're here. Our guest speaker tonight is past President Vijay, and accomplished Rotarian. His citation is long, but I will bridge it. He's a chartered accountant in India. He has a lot of qualifications. He had Bachelor of Commerce, he has Masters in Law, MBA in Finance. He also done certification in Management Accounting from Australia. He has Diploma in IFRS from UK. Has delivered speeches all various forum, Rotary clubs, and other clubs, social clubs. He also specialized in issues relating to cybercrime, income tax, company acts, fraud investigation, and various professional and other forum. He has written a book. He's an author, Limited Partnership Simplified Through Frequently Asked Questions and Answers. He has undertaken training in various governments. In Afghanistan, he has trained Supreme Government auditors in Afghanistan. In India, he has trained auditors and accounts departments of various government departments in risk management. Vijay is from a very strong Rotary family. He was introduced to Rotary at the age of 11, the year his father was among the successful Rotary president of that time. And his mother is also a member of Inner Wheel Club, and she was a president. He was a chartered president of a Rotary Club of Bombay, Mulund East, in 1990-1991 service year. And he pioneered this club to successful height. He joined Rotary in the year 2015 and was adjudged the best new Rotarian that first year. He was also adjudged the best Rotarian in his club the way following. He was secretary of Rotary Club of Thin Premium in the year 2016-2017. He then joined now Rotary Club of Thin Royal to support it to growth. And it was during his of this new club that that was in 2018-2019 that he revived a club that was always almost on his way. He had completed Rotary leadership training and is also a trainer in various faculty. He was a district chair, TRF level 3 in 2016-2017. As a district avenue co-chair, TRF level 2 in 2019-2020, and is currently the district avenue co-chair, district trust area in 2020 up to 2021, and has also been nominated to be the district for 2022-2023. He is a multiple Paul Harris Fellow and a Paul Harris Society member. His wife and son are Paul Harris Fellow. His son is an active Rotaract member. He joined, since he joined Rotary, he had traveled and fellowship physically with over 30 clubs within the length and breadth of India and overseas. During this pandemic time, he had attended over 170 fellowships in 15 different countries, and has a large network of friends across the globe. He's also he has also been inducted as an honorary member of Rotary Club of 10 Meridian District 20 in Ghana, and also has been appointed a global project coordinator for an international global grant project undertaken by 6 clubs in Abuja, Nigeria. He is also very active socially, and also active culturally and professionally. He has been the president, like I said, of Tax Friends from 2016 to 2020. He is president, Tax Practitioners Association thing, 2018 to 2020. National Executive Committee member, All India Federation of Tax Practitioners. He's also member Institute of Certified Management Accountants, Australia, Indian chapter. He's president, Indian chapter of American Institute of St. Hubry. He has been invited as a founding member of a Rotary Action Group on Menstrual Health by Rotary International Women Group. This is information. The CV of our guest speaker is so large, but President, permit me to stop it here and introduce to you our guest speaker tonight, past President Vijay. Over to you, sir. The floor is yours. Thank you very much.
You'll have to unmute. You'll have to unmute.
Yeah. Thank you, Nakim, for a wonderful and detailed introduction. I would like to thank President Peter and Nakim for giving me the invite. Although as far as the foundation is concerned, I am not that big a person, and we got stalwarts in the form of PDG Tony Sharma and DG IO sitting over here, who can understand the foundation and explain the foundation better. But still, I would be presenting my views. I hope the view is clear. My presentation is visible.
Yes, it is.
So friends, before we move to my experiences in the foundation in this small Rotary career, we would just like to understand some small background about the foundation. As President Peter rightly said, that it is important to understand the background of the foundation. Why should we go for the foundation, and why do we need to support the foundation? For that, first we need to understand the mission statement of the foundation. The mission statement of the foundation is that to enable Rotarians to advance world understanding, goodwill and peace through the improvement of health, the support of education, elevation of poverty. So friends, the mission itself says that it is to advance the world understanding, goodwill and peace. That is one. And then improvement of health, the support of education and elevation of poverty. So all this says, and it literally covers all the 6 focus areas which were there earlier. Now the 7th one is also there, but technically if you see, it covers all the 6 focus areas, the mission statement. Just a brief history about the foundation, how it all started. The foundation was created by the 6th president, Rotarian Arc Club, which we know as a Arc Club Society member. We are so famous. He started it with a contribution of $26.5 as an endowment fund for Rotary. And the foundation was formally given its name, the Rotary Foundation, at the Minneapolis, Minnesota, USA convention in 28. So since 1928, it has been called as the Rotary Foundation. And the Rotary Foundation, as we can all see, is 103 years old. We recently celebrated the centennial in 2017. So what are the sources of support of the foundation? First and foremost is the Polio Plus Fund, which is dedicated to polio eradication. The annual fund, which is the primary source of funding for the foundation grants and activities. And the endowment fund, or the bequest fund also it is, as it is called, or the permanent fund, which supports the foundation in perpetuity. Now we'll look into all of this in a bit detail, how it works. So friends, Polio Plus funds, as we are sitting in Uganda, and Africa has just recently been announced as polio free. I think there's only one country, Afghanistan now, which remains to be cleared from polio. Rotary had started the initiative in 1995, and it has been very successful in creating. So the Polio Plus Fund was launched in 1985. Sorry, it was launched in 1985 by Rotary, which took it as a mission to end polio, and it started giving in African countries in the beginning. The immunization used to be given even much before this launch of the Polio Plus Fund. The immunizations were to be given through Rotary, but slowly they formally started in 1985. It primarily supported the global efforts to end polio, which was appreciated by the UN. It has been appreciated by various global organizations, including the WHO. And thereby, looking at Rotary, it was also instrumental in starting the Global Polio Eradication Initiative by the World Health Assembly in 1988. So, in fact, Rotary was pioneering the polio fund, and that way it started the Global Polio Eradication Initiative by the World Health Assembly. And then, as we all know, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation entered the campaign, and they put in a US $100 million challenge that Rotary needs to match it in 2007. Rotarians were smart enough and they came together to the challenge and they matched this. And as all of us right now know, that even still now, Melinda and Bill Gates Foundation is still supporting that every penny, every dollar that you contribute to the Polio Plus Fund, they contribute $2 for that. So every dollar you contribute to the Polio Plus Fund, technically you are contributing $3 to the Polio Plus Fund, because you are not just contributing a single dollar, but matching it with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, it becomes $3. So this is a very important thing. And as I earlier said, I think only Afghanistan is remaining for to be cleared from polio. But yes, this, just because it has been eradicated, we cannot take it lightly. The vaccinations have to continue. Even in India, currently also the vaccinations are continuing in spite of polio being cleared somewhere in around 2016 from India. It was eradicated, but still the vaccinations are still going regularly so that it doesn't recur. There were fears in certain parts of the country where it was stated that it might recur, but it is well under control, and so far no new cases have come down. Friends, the other is the annual fund. Annual fund is the main fund through which we are getting all our grants, the global grants, the district grants, and all the funding that we are getting. So it's basically the primary funding source for foundation grants and activities, because Polio Plus is a dedicated fund going only for polio, and annual fund is the one that we donate to annual fund, and then 50% of it is given to grants, annual world grants, and 50% goes to the district grants, and this money used for that. It supports the local and international grants through the share system. So they have, Rotary has developed a share system. 50% goes, and whatever donation that we give to the annual fund, it comes back to us in the from the third year onwards. Third, fourth, and fifth year. In 3 years, we get the whole money back, whatever the district contributes. So it's important that we contribute to the Rotary Foundation. Ultimately, that amount is returned back to that district for usage. So it doesn't happen that many people have in mind that why should we give to Rotary International? What is the benefit when my country needs it, when my locality and community needs it? Friends, the amount comes back to you. So it's very important that you contribute to this also, and it accumulates and gets back to us in a larger amount. Contributions get credited to the individual donor and the donors club. So if you see the contribution statement that is generated, you can see the name of the individual donor also, how much that person has contributed, as well as the donors club also gets in the club recognition summary what is the amount that the club has given, and accordingly this money can be applied for the club and district annual goals. And as I said, it ultimately comes back to us after 3 years, so we can use it for our projects. Lastly, the endowment fund. Contribution received to the endowment fund are invested in perpetuity. It's just like a deposit that we keep, a fixed deposit that we keep. and that original amount is not touched. It is deposited and invested very professionally for perpetuity, and then the earnings that are earned out of that investment are spent. So the original amount remains there, it is not touched. And as of now, I believe the stalwarts would correct me, Rotary has an endowment fund of around 1.8 billion. And the target for 2025 is to cross more than 2 billion. Let's hope it will be done. It offers donors a way to create their own lasting legacy through Rotary. So, as it is said, endowment fund in perpetuity, you can donate, you can bequest it in the name of any person, so that person's name also becomes immortal, and they also, uh, through those income that is generated, so that person also starts getting the blessings in whose name you are donated. Endowment fund, how can you contribute to the endowment fund? Annual fund, we have seen, we will be seeing further how do we contribute. Polio plus funds are direct contributions. And how do you contribute to the endowment fund? Outright gifts of cash, investment, or other property. So either you can give through cash, or you can transfer you some of your investments or other properties. If you have, you can contribute to the endowment fund. It can be life income gifts like charitable gift annuities or pooled income gifts. It can be testamentary gifts through wills or estate plans. So supposing during your lifetime you don't want to give it, but you can put it in your will or plan it in the estate, such that after your death, the amount goes to the endowment fund. You can also make the endowment fund, that is Rotary Foundation, as a beneficiary in your life insurance plan or a retirement plan or a other financial accounting plan, so that on maturity that amount goes to the endowment fund, and then it is invested accordingly. What are the end uses, the funds that we now discuss? See, I am not going into details because here I am just to share the Rotary Foundation story. So I am not going into exact details about how the foundation functions and all that. But what are the end uses where it is used? First and foremost, the amount is used for the Polio Plus program. As we said, the Polio Plus fund, it uses there. Then it is used for the Rotary 6 areas of focus. I have put the 7th one in bracket because it is recently added from this year. So definitely that would also be added, the environment, apart from the other 6 areas of focus. So this amount is used for the 7 areas of focus. As we saw in the mission statement also, all the 6 areas of focus was covered in the mission statement. So this is where that amount that we are contributing to the foundation goes. And it is also used for Rotary Peace Fellowships. Rotary has Rotary Peace Centers across the globe. In 6 places, they have 6 peace centers where they award fellowships, they award a master's degree, they award a certificate course, and train people for peace. And this UNESCO also has a certified and appreciated this Rotary's job. Now, friends, this is important. Why should we contribute? One says, if I contribute, what do I get? What do you get is a recognition. Now, what type of recognitions happen? The first recognition that goes is the Paul Harris Fellow or multiple Paul Harris Fellow. Paul Harris Fellow is by contributing $1,000 in a year. It can be either through actual currency, or if somebody has already contributed, so they are given recognition points. Like suppose I have contributed whatever my foundation contribution is there, so I get those equal amount of recognition points. What I can do is I can transfer those recognition points to either another member or to my family member and ensure that they also become a Polaris Fellow. So if I just transfer 1000 points of my recognition points in the name of my wife or my mother, they automatically will become Polaris Fellow. That way you can increase it in the family, and the number of Polaris fellows can increase. This is the way when we speak about multiple Polaris fellow club. So this way, if everybody cannot afford, what can be done is most of the members who have contributed, they must be getting the contribution points, and these recognition points can be used only for this purpose. So it is always better that you support them. In our districts in India, what they do is they normally ask us to pay either $350 or $500. The remaining is contributed equally by the club as well as by the district through the surplus points that we have. So that way, more and more Polaris fellows are created. And multiple Polaris fellow is that every year on year, if you just keep on adding $1,000 every year, so then you become Polaris fellow, multiple Polaris fellow, that is level 1, level 2, level 3, and so on and so forth. Over the Paul Harris fellow is this the Paul Harris Society membership. Paul Harris Society membership is nothing just like a normal recurring deposit that we have, that every year you commit to Rotary that I will pay $1,000 every year. Friends, to become a Paul Harris Society member, you cannot become through recognition points. You have to transfer your money through dollars. Yes, Rotary is given you options that in case you cannot afford to pay $1,000 in one shot, you can give it in recurring contributions. That is, either you can deposit $85 monthly, or what you can do is you can deposit say $250 quarterly or $500 half yearly. That way also you can contribute, or you can contribute the whole amount of $1,000. These amounts can be deposited in the name of either the annual fund or the Polio Plus fund, or you can even give it to a dedicated grant. So if you give it over there, it will be contributed over here. It does not mean to get a Paul Harris Fellow recognition or a Paul Harris Society recognition, you need not give it to only to an annual fund or only to the Polio Plus fund. You can give it to any of these funds. This is how I will also tell you how I have been contributing to the Paul Harris Society when I come to my this thing. Then the other recognition that we get is every Rotarian every year. This is a recognition given to the club when the per capita contribution of the club is $100 and every individual Rotarian contributes a minimum of $25 every year. So supposing you got 20 members and say 10 of them have been contributing 1,000 this thing over there. So it becomes $10,000 you already contributed to the foundation, but still, so your per capita goes to $200. It is not a problem. $500, but still the other remaining 10 members will have to still give in $25 per person to ensure that the club becomes a every year, every Rotarian club, EREY club. Then the other recognition is a bequest society recognition. The moment you give it to the bequest fund or the endowment fund, then you become a bequest society member. Major donor. Major donor is a recognition given to you when your total contribution, including that of your spouse. Friends, please note, not only your contribution, but including that of your spouse, if it crosses $10,000. So if you give $10,000, and this need not be in one stroke or in 1 year, over a period of years. Like if you are a Paul Harris Society member, you contribute to pay $1,000 for 10 years. If you just pay for 10 years, you automatically become a major donor in the 10th year. Or otherwise, if you are a Paul Harris fellow in 1 year and then you start contributing to Paul Harris Society members for 10 years. So in the 9th year, you become a major donor. Here also there are different levels, major donor, but here the levels change at different amount. It is just not doubling 10,000 per year. It is first major donor is 10,000. The major donor level 2 will be 25,000, then 50,000, then 1 lakh, 100,000, then 250,000, then 500,000 and 1 million. So accordingly, these levels change 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if you contribute, but it need not be in one stroke, it can be over a period. And last but not the least is the Arts Club Society member. If during your Rotary lifetime you pay an amount of US dollars $250,000, you become a Arts Club Society member. Here also there are different categories. At the base minimum is the trustee level. Then if you contribute 500,000, it will be the chairman level. And if you contribute $1 million, it will be the platinum level. So there are 3 different categories of Arclum Society member. And again, friends, one more thing I would just like to clarify. You need not be a Rotarian to get these recognitions. This can be given by anybody from the society. Your neighbor can give it, your boss can give it, your employee can give it. You can give it in the name of your employee, no problem, and they will get the recognition. You need not be a Rotarian to get these recognitions. Now, friends, coming to my TRF journey. As I said, my Rotary journey is very small, around 6 years old. So I joined Rotary in 2015. And when I heard, being from a Rotary family, I definitely knew about Polaris Fellow. But when I joined Rotary and I got involved in activities, I heard the benefits. In 2 months itself, and as I said, the district gave a benefit that you pay $500. So what I did is I deposited $1,000, $500 on my account, $500 on my wife's account, and we got matching points on the recognition points. And me and my wife both became Polaris Fellows in within 2 months of my joining Rotary, that is March 2015. And then before that year ended, under that very scheme, I paid another amount and got my son enrolled as a Polaris Fellow. So my whole family became a Polaris Fellow in the very first year I joined. That was my small contribution of say $1,500 to the Rotary Foundation. That is physical contribution. But by just paying $1,500, I could get 3 Polaris Fellow recognitions. Then in the very next year, I followed it up by paying the full amount of 1,000. I became PHF level 2 in 2016. In that very year, although this amount is not gone to the foundation, but I created a bequest fund in my club for girl child education. So this 100,000, in those days it was equivalent to around $1,750. This amount will remain there in the fund, and whatever interest or the earnings that is coming out of that will be used for the girl child education. That is the condition. And this fund is in the name of my late father, who was an active Rotarian. So I created this fund, although this is not gone directly to the foundation, but yes, this is my small contribution, recognizing the services of my father. And my father has always strived for girl child education. So in his name, this fund was created. The president of that Rotary Club is still listening to this. I think he will agree to that. That fund is still there. And then I joined the Paul Harris Society in 2018. From 2018 onwards, I have been paying $1,000. So friends, what I wanted to share with you, how I came into this, how do I pay the $1,000? What I do is, instead of giving $85 to Rotary per month, what I do is I have opened a recurring deposit in my currency, recurring deposit in India in the bank. I deposit some amount equivalent to this, say around $100 every month I deposit over there. By the end of the year, I get $1,200 plus some interest amount that. In those days, the interest amount used to be 8 to 9%. Now the interest is around 5 to 6% that we are getting. So what I do is $1,000 after the recurring, that at the end of the year, I get 1,200 plus the interest. So $1,000 I put it to Rotary account, and the remaining I use it for donations to my club for the club projects. So this way, I not only support the foundation, but I also support my club through other projects, which I give it to them. And it's just small amounts. You have to just put in savings, and at the end of the day, so it just doesn't hurt that I have to invest $1,000 all at a stroke. And my total contributions to foundation till date in my name are $4,000, apart from the contributions that have been made in the name of my son as well as my wife. So friends, this was my small Rotary TRF journey, and whatever I have explained to you, this is from these sources. And I would once again like to thank President Peter and Akem for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to express my views and share my experiences and share my TRF journey. So friends, now I am open for any questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vijay. There are a few questions in the chat room. I don't know, Nakato, did you follow? Have you kept tabs of questions?
Thank you, President. Yes, there's a question. picked up one. I don't know if there are any others, but there's one I picked up. This is from Florence. It says, happy to listen into my question. Happy to listen in. My question is, if the world is polio free, what would the polio fund target?
No, as I told you, once it is polio free, doesn't mean that the vaccination need not be done. We will still have to continue doing the vaccination until we are sure that it is totally done, because we never know that it is when it will be, what to say, when it will come back or whatever it is. So that vaccination still continues. In India, the polio was eradicated officially in 2016, but till now, it's 4.5 years now, still we are giving the vaccination to ensure that it doesn't recur, especially in the slum areas and in the malnutrition areas. You have to ensure, because you never know whether the virus is there and how it can come back. So this will still continue. Maybe that intensity will not be there, but this fund will still continue, and till we are very sure that the disease has been totally wiped out. And I think there are seniors who can contribute to this if they would like.
Thank you so much. There's also been a lot of people appreciative of your presentation. They say, thank you very much, well presented. I can see something from Dr. Richard Kalunji. Thanks for sharing, well presented. So proud of you. Shangran Joshi. Nice presentation from Oti Douglas. If there are any questions, there might be any hands up. You can put your hands up if you want a question to ask. Feel free to put up your hands up. Please feel free to raise your hands.
There's a question from somebody in the room here with me. He's asking, since you've just, Vijay, since you joined Rotary recently, about 5-6 years ago, do you feel a happier person? Do you think you should have joined earlier?
Lot many questions have come, and I had concentrated on my career. After my Rotary presidentship, I did concentrate on my career, because if you have a career, then you can concentrate on Rotary. Although I was invited to lot of Rotary clubs, and my father being in Rotary, there were lot many. Whenever I used to meet a Rotarian or maybe some district governors from my district, they always used to say, Vijay, your father was very successful, why don't you join Rotary? I said, I don't think it's the opportune time for me right now. So whenever the time comes, I'll definitely join Rotary. So this was the only reason I wanted to develop my career first.
Thank you so much. There's also a raised hand from Gabriel Senyen. Please go ahead and ask your question, Gabriel.
Yes, Gabriel.
Yeah, thank you very much, my president. I can recognize my DG Oyedekun, the guest speaker, Vijay, fellow Rotarians and guests. My name is Gabriel Senyen. I am the president of the Rotary Club Officer Center, Abuja, Nigeria, District 9125. Listening to Vijay, I will say you have a very good presentation, particularly in the month of foundation. Now coming to raising funds and getting to contribute to the fund. I tend to say that yes, with your background from India and Nigeria, my question is this: why is it difficult? Would I say that the COVID-19 pandemic is contributory, or to the fact that why is it so difficult that you find people outside of Rotary contribute to the foundation? So how best can you, given the present situation that we have, will we be able to say we will get people or talk to people to be able to contribute to the foundation? Given
basically the point, I hope you are through, Gabriel.
I'm true.
Yeah. See, basically the point is, whenever we speak about the foundation and the projects, it has been not been publicized enough. Like the basic thing is polio. Now I'll tell you the situation in India. Rotary has done a lot about polio since 85 as a child. When my dad was the president in 1985, that time polio fund was introduced and Rotary started emphasizing on polio. My father was the president in that year. But what has happened in India, whenever the polio comes, we got some film stars coming in the ad, 2 drops of hope, do boon zindagi ke 2 drops of life. This is the ad coming in for film stars sponsored by the government of India. So what had happened was the government has only provided the promotion, but the basic funds and the back end was coming from Rotary. The Rotarians were on the field working for Polio Plus. But we have never publicized. Only in the past few years has it happened that Rotary has emphasized on public image and public promotion. So whatever we are doing so many good works, but it has never gone to the public. The point is, if you explain to the public, if you do proper publicity, proper PR, you will definitely be able to get more contribution from the public. People have money, people are willing to give. The only point is that people do not know where to give and what Rotary is doing. This is the biggest problem that has happened. Like Polio Plus, as I gave you, Rotary has given tremendously. But the point is, it has never been publicized that Rotary is doing too much for Polio Fund. Everywhere we see the government is doing. Everywhere in India, as I told you, every ad is coming that a film star, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, he is one of the superstars coming over here. Do boon zindagi ke. Every 3 months he comes in that you have to give them 2 drops of life. So what people think is the government is doing it, but who are working behind in the background, nobody knows. So this is how we have to highlight what Rotary is doing. The moment you start highlighting, this is a good job Dr. Samuel is doing that through Emerald Planet. He is highlighting what Rotary is doing. Once this goes through, definitely it will proceed. And you will start getting funds from outside.
Thank you, Vijay. There's also one question from Petro Sozi. He says, of the contribution so far done, how much money have you received back from Rotary Foundation to your club?
My club is planning a big project next year. So I think we'll start earning from there. And the other club, because my contributions have gone to 2 clubs. I was in the one club earlier, which I joined as was there in my this one citation. So that club has already been getting lots of money through global grants, and they have been doing good works in global grants. So they have already recovered most of the amounts.
Thank you. Is there anybody else who wants to ask a question? Raise your hands. Not too sure, Gabriel, if you want to ask a
Dr.
question.
Samuel, you will have to unmute. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Anyway, Vijay, thank you for your great words and the challenge to all Rotarians to rise up to your esteemed level. But looking at in polio now, why is that so important? And how long do we need to continue that, as we still do have Afghanistan? I think there may be another country with some outbreaks. So what do we need to do next?
See, the point is basically there are 2 countries remaining, Afghanistan and Pakistan. And there again, it is because of some mindset going on, orthodox mindset. I think Pakistan has changed to that effect, that people have now understood, and now Pakistan is going under control, but still Afghanistan is remaining. So still the mindset of the people have to change, that no, we need not give vaccinations. It will be cured by nature. It will be cured by God. So this concept has to go. That's why it is still remaining in 2 countries. But Pakistan people have now been able to convince the people to take the vaccination, and it has controlled a bit. And we have guests from Pakistan. I believe they will also concur with me. And Afghanistan, still we have a lot to go. The point is, until the people understand the need, they don't allow you to give the vaccination. Our volunteers are going, but people are not allowed to enter the doors and give the vaccination. That is the problem.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other questions? All right, that's been a very good presentation, and I trust all of us have learned a lot from it. And I'll ask
President.
Yes, okay.
I would suggest you ask if there is anybody who wants to make any contribution, in addition, in addition to what he has said, especially.
Yes, we have PDG, Tony, we have DGE, IO, then we have DGN, Kailash from our district. our district. I would like to welcome DJ and Kailash also from our district who just joined.
Thank you, Vijay. It's always a pleasure.
Tony ji, if you would like to add something.
Anybody adding?
Thank you, Vijay. Let me add just one thing. We as Rotarians have made a commitment to rid the world of polio. Until the job is done, we must persevere and continue and overcome all the difficult hurdles that we are facing, especially in the regions of conflict in Afghanistan and Pakistan. You must always remember, polio is no more than a plane ride away. So it is imperative we finish the job and rid the world. And to that is what we must commit to and work towards. And it is the Rotary Foundation that is pioneering this, and the world is looking at Rotary to do the job. So, Vijayji, your address on the foundation is excellent and to the point, and I would commend to all the participants and thank you all for all the contributions to foundation that you continually make, because without this cooperation from around the world, the job cannot be done. So please contribute more, as much as you can, and let's get the job done so we can then move on to the next big project, whatever it may be. Thank you very much, and I appreciate your invitation, Vijayji. Thank you.
Thank you. It's my pleasure that you joined, sir. DG IO, you would like to make some contribution?
Is it still on? DGIO?
I don't see. DJ and Kailash, would you like to add something? Kailash ji.
Yeah.
Please unmute and speak.
Yeah, thank you, Vijay. I'm sorry, I've got a bad range here. That's why I will not be able to open my video because I'll lose my connection. But I definitely would like to request all the Rotarians present here. First and foremost, let me convey my greetings from District 3142 and our Governor DG Dr. Sandeep Kadam. And it's really a pleasure to go international and talk to clubs outside India. Our only summation here would be that don't look at the foundation only from the point of view of contributing to the foundation yourself. You need to understand that we need to attract contributions from friends, relatives, and acquaintances, because if we want to do good in the world, the world should contribute. We can't alone contribute. 12 lakh volunteers can't alone contribute to the entire good that is being done by the foundation. We may try to make these people who can contribute to the foundation, we may try to make these people our members, maybe our honorary members, but see to it that we also look at others from the point of view of contributing to the TRF. Then that is the only way and the roadmap that by 2025 we will have 2.025 in our endowments. That's what 2.025 billion in our endowments is what the aim is for the foundation, and that is the only roadmap. Of course, I agree completely with a lot of friends out here that we are just it can just be a slip between a cup and a lip if we leave ground at this point of time for polio. We have to finish our job as far as polio is concerned. Otherwise, you never know, polio will come back to haunt us maybe in future for the next generation, and we would definitely not like our grandchildren or children or grandchildren or their children to get affected by this deadly disease, which we have almost done with. It's just 2 countries. We should see to it that we do away with polio completely very soon and latch on to something else, so that we are also interested maybe in literacy or maybe in water. Well, there are a lot of projects around, but see to it that we do away with polio as soon as possible. Thank you.
I want to add one thing to that, if you do not mind, Mr. President, is that in many countries, there's a movement against vaccinations. The United States, most unfortunately, is in that. So some families are not having their children vaccinated against measles, mumps, chickenpox, other early childhood diseases. These can kill and they can maim. And so I think what was just said to us, we need to make sure that we also, through our Rotary clubs, we get the message out that all vaccinations need to be taken care of so that we do not have these other diseases, particularly in the United States, that were eradicated are now coming back. And the same thing will happen as we just heard about polio, many other diseases. So we have to be vigilant, but we have to continue to educate the public about the need for vaccinations for all children, because if you have some children not vaccinated, they can infect others. So I think it's very important that Rotary takes leadership, not only just with its money, but also we need to talk about education and make sure that all citizens have their children vaccinated for all early childhood diseases, including polio. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. It's been a very engaging discussion, and I will call upon the body group if you can do the vote of thanks.
Thank you, President. I'm going to call upon Peter Sozi to give the vote of thanks. Peter Sozi, I know you're around. Can you give the vote of thanks, please? Oh, sorry, Doris. Doris, I'm so sorry. Doris is supposed to give the vote of thanks. Doris,
that's all right, Nakato. I'm right here. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can.
Wow, thank you, Rotarian Vijay, for that very, very interesting and thought-provoking talk you just gave us. A lot of us, I think, seem not to have realized the impact that Rotarians' contribution has had on polio eradication and other diseases over time. You know, the impact it's had on water accessibility and education, and we seem to have taken a back seat. It's even more inspiring to know that somebody like you, who's a new Rotarian, relatively new Rotarian, has taken such strides in ensuring that you're contributing regularly to TRF. I personally have taken away the lesson of the monthly debit order to the foundation, where you keep your money and then at the end of the year you're contributing. I'm a Paul Harris +2, and I've been a Rotarian for longer than you have, so I'm feeling personally challenged. Thank you very much for that talk. Thank you for that thought-provoking and inspiring talk. And I'm really looking forward to engaging with you. I'm sure our club is not going to just let all your wisdom and everything that you've shared go by. We'll continue to engage with you. Thank you.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to share my experience with you all. Thank you very much for giving me a patient hearing.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, my dear beloved Rotarian Vijay Kewalramani sir. It's a wonderful, excellent presentation. Thank you so much. On behalf of Rotary Club of Andavasi, RA District 3231 from South India, Vellore sir. And I am very happy morning to Dr. Sam sir, Emerald Planet, Rotary Club of Washington. Very nice meeting on the second meeting. And also giving this opportunity, Rotary Club of Kisugu, Victoria View. Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Shafi, you have your hand up. Shafi, go ahead, unmute and speak.
Unmute Shafi, sir. Unmute Shafi, sir.
Okay,
Shafi, sir, unmute.
Somebody has a hand. Somebody has a hand up. Okay. Margaret, do you want to go ahead and do the roll call of clubs, or thanks to the clubs that have visited us?
Okay, I'll do the roll call of the clubs, then I'll allow Peter to sort it.
I am the club of Koilon.
Yeah.
RID 3211, Kerala, India.
Yes.
Hi.
Thank you,
Very
Safi
nice,
sir.
very motivational speech.
Sure, definitely.
Okay, Margaret, you can go ahead.
Yeah, well, we've had an overwhelming support from different Rotary clubs all over the country, all over the world, sorry. From Washington, India, Asia.
Good evening. I share one information, sir. Last year.
Sorry, I'll go ahead. I've just muted him. Yes, we've had an amazing array of different Rotary clubs, and thank you all so much for joining us. We've had Rotary clubs from Rotary Club Fane Royal, Rotary Club Wuse Central, Accra Airport, Rotary Club of Edgware and Stanmore, Rotary Club of Early Bird, Washington, D.C., Namasuba, Nepal, Vandavasi, Otapao, Toa Amlet, Ayo Reed, Abuja Ministers Hill, Calgary, Canada, Kampala South, New Road City Kasamdan, Zagoje, Tema Merida, Ghana, Milimani, Kenya, Accra Airport, Fane Downtown, and I hope I haven't left out any, but I believe I've covered all of them. Thank you all so much for being part of.
We had Thane East, Thane East, Thane Premium, Thane Uptown, and Thane Green City.
Okay, sorry so much, but yeah, I'll note these as down, and definitely you'll get a thank you from us.
And also Ulhasnagar East.
Okay, thank you so much.
And Kampala North also.
Kampala North, how can I forget Kampala North? And we actually have you here noted, even on my register.
Then we also had Karachi, Pakistan, Karachi Club also.
Karachi, Pakistan.
And the Rotary Club of Accra, Kanda, District 9102.
Okay, thank you so much.
And the Rotary Club of Accra is District 9102.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Haruna, you have your hand up?
Yes. No, I was just going to say that my club was not mentioned, so that's fine. I'll lower my hand.
Okay, I have shared some.
Sorry, but all grateful for joining us as well.
Thank you.
Thank you all for joining us this evening. In Kampala. In the chat room, I have shared some flyers for the various projects that we're raising money for. So please feel free to chip in where you can. Otherwise, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Vijay. Hope to meet you again on another forum. Happy Dollar. We do Happy Dollar. Can I? Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm just going through to see somebody and then to Nautica College. I'm going to see somebody in Nautica. You take.
Okay. Thank you very much. I think those who have a Happy Dollar, we do a Happy Dollar moment. We share, and the dollar in Kampala is 5,000 shillings for those that can contribute. So feel free to be happy and contribute towards our projects. Okay, nobody seems to be happy.
Hello, Mr. President.
Hi, James.
James Jeroga here. This is a very nice presentation because as a new Rotarian, then I get to know how, the progression in terms of being a devoted Rotarian. So for that reason, I give 5 happy dollars for the nice presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, James. Okay. Yes, we.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Excuse me, sir. Master, I am happens to be a club's foundation chairman. As that position, my club in the history of 32 years, 10% contribution to TRF at about around $3,000, sir. I am happily sharing with you esteemed peoples of Rotarians, sir, in this wonderful time, wonderful group sharing.
Thank you.
I am also Palaris fellow, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Hi, President. I am from
Yes, sir.
Kerala, yeah, RI District 3211, Rotary Club of Koilo. Our club, 72 years old club. Okay, I am the past president also several district posts I will to manage. Okay, very good inspiration speech. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, buddy group, can we have a final toast so that we can close the meeting and we can carry on chatting after?
Petro? Okay.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Mr. President, it is important for us to note that as a club, we are moving in the right direction because so far we have one Paul Harris Society member, and that is our only KB. And a lot of other people have expressed interest, including yourself, Mr. President. So let's all try to contribute towards this foundation. And therefore, let's rise up, everybody, for the wonderful session.
Mr. President, please to send the video, the video copy of.
Sorry, Mr. President, for that interruption.
Go ahead, Peter.
But I was requesting that we stand up and raise our glasses as we toast to Rotary International.
Rotary the world over.
Rotary world over.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, all our guests. Thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure hosting you, and we trust you will come again. Those that have said